Oh, hello there. Welcome to Metrosix. It's the capital of Delaire. But more importantly for our story, it's a dangerous place. For 14 years, the city has dealt with a succession crisis, each one of the throne sitters dying within the month. However, rising from the poor forgotten 6th District, an heir to a fallen house and his trusted allies endeavor to break the noble's misbegotten deadlock. While it could be dangerous to step into the conflict, success here wouldn't just mean safety and stability for the sticks. But for the whole of Delaire.
Welcome back to Toss the Dice, Thieves and Kings. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to begin your adventure. Now, when last we left our heroes, they were struggling with vices, they were dealing with trauma related to the death of a sibling, or rather spending downtime quality time with siblings after seeing someone else's relationship gone wrong. Now that we're all caught up from the various downtime activities, I only mentioned a few here, so if you haven't seen that episode, what are you doing? You're watching them in the wrong order, but we're glad you're here anyway. Come back after you watch it. So, what we need to do now is plan the next mission. So when we left off, we were all taking care of our various stuff, but we need to know where we're going next. What is the plan?
Well, so we took out the black market, but originally the goal was to kind of come back on the whole the Lord what's his bucket issue, because now that we've kind of any of the ties or advantages that he had with the black market, now that that's no longer an issue. Now we can go forward with whatever it was that we wanted to do with the Lord in the district that he's over.
Yes, the bucket she is referring to is Talvis, by the way.
Yes, that butt, that butthole.
Good bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the plan was to, because I got the clear from his brother to impersonate Devere Black yet again in order to lure Lord Talvis into a precarious situation.
Yes.
Oh,
so
did we ever? Did the Thieves Guild guy? Did he ever decide what he wanted to do with the body of his dead brother?
Yeah, he'll be burying it and holding a service, which of course Eliana is invited to. But
definitely should keep that on the down low.
It would be either way.
Yeah, so to everyone's knowledge, and especially black market dudes, people, for all they know, that he just got away and he turned up randomly somewhere else. He got away, but
correct.
So yeah, cool.
There is a window where it'll start being suspicious because Devere is the longer he's silent, the more likely it is that he didn't make it, and this is all weird. Which is actually why we were rushing to have this mission against Talvis. Mm-hmm. So, in that case, so you're planning to use a disguise to trick Talvis. What is the linchpin of this plan? What is it that you're actually trying to accomplish as well?
Oh, fearless leader.
Well, I think the idea here is let's go with the end result. The end result would be we want a meeting. We want a point where we can get Talvis alone with him. However, I'm trying to think of a situation where that might be required, but I don't see it coming to fruition. I see Lord Talvis maybe not trying to fix this problem in person, but sending resources.
What's the point of luring him into a room by himself? Are we just going to straight up mark him as the Ver Black again? Like, are we just going to kill off another opponent as the Ver Black, or are you just trying to like force this man's hand or something? Like, what is the point?
I suppose we could totally kill him. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I guess let's use the categories given to us by Blades in the Dark to help narrow down like our options for plans here. So, assault. So ask yourself the question, do you plan to do violence to the target? Or perhaps deception is the goal here. Are you wanting to lure him, trick him, or manipulate him into doing something? Stealth. Are you trying to get in and out without ever being seen? That one seems unlikely. Occult. Do you plan on engaging with supernatural powers? It's unlikely. Social. Negotiate, bargain, or persuade Talvis. Or transport. Are you simply going to carry cargo or people through danger?
We could do a mixture of the two of them.
Assault and deception?
I don't know about assault. I mean, we could definitely give him a smack. I wouldn't mind smacking him around a little bit. But if we're gonna be the Ver Black, I mean, the goal is I guess how much do we actually know about what kind of deal they struck up before we killed off the Ver Black? Because if we have no idea what they did and why the Lord visited him, then we may not want to bring that up. It may, you may just want to be like, low key DeVere comes and says something along the lines of, hey, so I've been offered a better opportunity, and I no longer find this investment beneficial for me. So, sorry, but that's business. You're being let go.
I actually do think that we did change plans last time, now that I'm remembering and thinking about it. I'm pretty sure we decided not to do that because we were going to kind of fix things. We knew that taking out the black market was a controversial move at best.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, the whole point was that we wanted to actually spend some time sorting this problem out so that we weren't hated, providing the goods that we could, every one of them except for, was it adamantium?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's definitely going to be a part of it. That'll have to happen in the background. It's not actually a mission for the Spectres.
Got it.
So the administrative services will handle that, including the factory.
So my second question then is, would we almost extort him? What was that deal that I made with the pirate king that gave me a black spot? And could I do something similar with him?
Make a deal with the same magic, you mean?
Yes. Under the guise of DeVere Black.
Probably not. You could enlist that magic from the Pirate King, but you would have to get Talvis to meet with the Pirate King, and he would have to do it.
We could just pretend that we can do it.
I believe that eventually your character does get access to some sort of soul contract feature, and so eventually you get it, but I don't think you've unlocked it yet.
Okay.
So, do we want to kill him?
Here's the problem with that. It has to be done as the Spectres if we're going to kill him. But either way, I'm afraid of the heat that we're going to catch as the Spectres from nobles for killing a noble. Killing a black market guy is all well and good, but killing a noble and sending that kind of message, it might just be the infamy we're looking for. But I'm just saying we got to be really cautious if that's going to be a decision we make.
We could scare the crap out of him, intimidate to the max.
But Okay, but you have to remember the sticks, or sorry, so far the specters operate out of the sticks. So as us, right, as the day crew, the nobles are going to be breathing down our backs, being like, why haven't you solved this issue? Catch these criminals. This is on you. They're operating out of your territory. They're terrorists. Okay?
Until they move around.
Yes. And so it's like we get heat from both directions in this hypothetical, I think. So
that's true, but don't forget that you actually get to shape the sticks' reputations from both ends. So as the specters shape their reputation from both ends. So you could pretend to be from any district. They did one mission. Right. They've had one outing, and that was to kill Ptolemy. But that's the only thing anybody knows about the specters.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were also going to let the 4th district is the market district, right? So I thought we were going to let Talvis's district kind of implode. Like we would stir things up in there, and then we would let the nobles fight amongst themselves there. I thought that's what we were going to do for our plan, but did that change? Are we going to go to a totally different route?
Well, if you were to just kill Talvis, that's definitely an option, but you cannot. You would guarantee that another noble would swoop in and take their district. So, and
it wouldn't really fix the issue. We would still have to deal with a snobby noble. We've already met with Talvis. We could use our previous interaction and be like, yeah, this is what you get for disrespecting us. Now we're going to beat the crap out of you.
To be fair, there are really only 2 outcomes you can hope for here. One, you can try and take over his district by force, whether that means marching an army over, or whether that means assassinating him and then just swooping in and taking political power. Either way, you have to make deals with districts on your flanks, because if you move armies over there, they're going to take it as a hostile move. You could try to legalize that hostile move by, swooping in and being like, Talvis is a criminal, I'm arresting him. You can do that. You're within your right. Because he broke the law by cavorting with the black market. Or you could negotiate as De Vere and back him into a corner that way. Either way, you can obtain the district through blackmail, or you can try and take it by force.
Okay, I've got it. And I just want to see if everyone agrees with this. I think the best way to go about this is the one that does not lead to killing him. We've killed a lot of people, and we have made a lot of deception. I think the simpler we make this on ourselves, the easier it's going to be able to maintain this cover over time. So I think as the day crew, we should go arrest Talvis and make those deals with the other districts. I think that this allows us to actually kind of get out of our district and make a reputation in others. I believe that it maintains the best relationship with the other districts closest to us. That's kind of my thinking. What do you guys think?
I think it's good. I think in terms of using De Vere's cover, we could use it to intimidate. Because the goal was, so are we going to manipulate him and then just kind of like try to rally up the other ones? Is that what you were saying?
In this case, it would be arresting him by force.
Oh, so we're not. So we're totally disregarding the use of the.
With this plan, yes.
Okay.
Which I also think is more respectful, and it's less shady. It feels better to me. But again, I do want the. I want to know where you guys are at.
Then in that case, we probably should bring to light that De Vere Black is dead, because then that makes us look like, oh, they took out the black market. They mean business. They're coming for your booty. I think, that's kind of That's no small feat. Everyone does business with the black market, and we took them out single-handedly.
Well,
as the
It's
six,
true.
which
I know.
everyone underestimated.
I know you were worried about your relationship with the other districts now having taken out the black market. One thing you could do is you could turn that to an advantage for them. So if you come to the second district, for example, and they might be mad that they can't do deals with the black market anymore, but you can say, hey, do you want to be a hero in a part of this black market takedown? Like you can get people in on it to where they're actually benefiting from the market takedown and they don't have as much reason to be mad at you anymore.
It's more of a social benefit for them. Like they get their faces in the view of the public polished a little bit.
Correct. But whoever you deal with, I think this is a good plan. So I think we should put this to a vote for in just a second here. The last thing I will say about it is be careful about which district you barter with. In fact, in game, Braz is the one that tells this to Aurelius. He says, whichever district you make a deal with, an alliance with, they will benefit to some degree from this. So
don't benefit too
choose
much.
wisely.
Yeah, don't let them benefit too much, because then they'll use that against us.
Okay, but so just for my knowledge, then who are the two choices?
You have 4 choices. So
Okay.
you have District 5. That is the smuggler district, or well, rather the what's the legitimate version of smuggling? Someone help my pathetic brain.
Oh my goodness.
Trading.
It's the harbor district. Yeah, it is trade. So they handle shipping and things like that. So you could deal with them. The other alternative is the Innovator Guild district. Then another one is the Mining district. And lastly is the Palace district.
Okay, it's not going to be the Palace district. It's not them. The question is which of these districts is the poorest? Which one could use the infrastructure, however, poses the least amount of threat due to their situation?
We could give them the least so that they don't become too much of a concern, but it's enough that they are like, gimme.
Well,
so because all imports and exports have been put to a halt, the district you crippled when you took down the black market was the 5th district. So previously they were doing one of the best. Now they're the worst.
Do we have to go through them to get to the market district? No.
In fact,
but I like where Brendan's going with this, because we hurt them the most. They stand to gain a lot back from us if we make this deal. Yes, they'll be mad when we first go in, but there's almost a chance to repair that dynamic right now. But the question is like, I think that's the one to go with, but I'm hesitant because we already hurt them. A, B, if they get more powerful, could they potentially challenge our trade route and our grasp on, trade? And that's just going to be one.
Let's do a reconnaissance mission. Let's do a pregame mission.
Well,
so why don't you go to District 5? This is what I propose. You should go to District 5, meet the noble there and any other powerful people, and go from there.
Okay, I'm with it.
What do you guys say?
Yeah,
I'm in.
Let's do it.
Okay.
let's do it.
Do you want to approach your target in disguise or as your proper self?
What do you guys think?
Well, if we make the offer to them in our faces, then they know that it was us. And if they don't like us, then it might make it a point to not allow them to close with us.
If the goal is reconnaissance, I recommend we don't go as ourselves, because if we're there, they're not going to be super straight up with us. It's kind of like, how, if you if you're someone else asking about someone else, they're going to be a lot more straight up with you than if you ask them about yourself. They're going to be like, oh, it's great. Like it's generally speaking, like if you're just a random person, you're going to get a straighter answer from someone else asking about another person.
Okay, bet. So we're going to go disguised. Let's do it.
I think that's the best option.
Yeah, if we go
Perfect.
as like someone else and we're like, hey, what do you think about the sticks? They suck. I'll slit their throat any chance I get. Well, gosh dang it, guess that's out of the range of possibility. But yes,
Okay.
sounds good.
So you don your are you actually going to don physical disguises, or are you just going to go and not tell anybody who you are? The difference is slight. It has pretty much the same intended result. There's just a higher chance that someone recognizes you with one and a higher chance of fraud with the other.
I think Piper, if nothing else, I mean, you guys can decide for yourselves, but Piper is definitely going to dress up because she is super recognizable. So she is, she's definitely going to wear something else to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In particular, Elektra is well known around these parts. She's done plenty of jobs for the Grey Dove Shipping Company.
Yeah, I should probably go.
Don't worry, Piper will help you. She'll do a makeover. It'll be like Princess Diaries.
Okay. You're going to have to meet both. But do you want to meet with Vermilion Steel first or High Lady Lith Doriam?
Lady Vermilion. I think Vermilion sounds like a cool name, so we should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vermilion Steel is the leader of Grey Dove Shipping. And then there's the High Lady of the district, Lith Doriam.
Let's do the High Lady instead of the person of the shipping, because she's probably a lot more pissed.
Whoa.
Yeah, Grey Dove Shipping is the front for the smuggling guild.
Either way, both are MILFs.
Aurelius, you were saying?
Well, I was going to say, whichever one we pick, I have to be able to flirt with.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so which one?
It's the High Lady, dude.
I said the High Lady. The High Lady is probably more winnable because she's less pissy.
All right.
Okay, perfect. So as you travel to the next district over with a simple ferry across, you make it to the other side of the river where the 5th district lies. Walking directly across the district, after some considerable time, you're able to make it late in the day, given the fact that you were traveling by vehicle. And you arrive at the palace of High Lady Lith Doriam.
Can we describe our disguises?
Absolutely. Now would be a perfect time for that too.
Wahoo!
As you get out of the vehicle, stepping out first is Piper Monroe. I did not forget your name, not even for a second.
I never doubted you. Not for a second. By the way, can it be canon that Piper helped everyone with their makeup and costumes?
Absolutely.
She gave everyone a makeover. So
yeah.
Piper steps out. This is probably the nicest and fanciest you've ever seen her, and probably will ever see her. She has a simple but not super, not too simple, but not too ornate. Just a nice, professional looking gown. She's wearing heels for the first time in a long time, and she's pretty good at kind of fake it till you make it with these heels, but inside she's screaming pain. She stole these shoes. They were not fitted to her feet, but she's got to play the part. The show must go on.
Oh boy.
So she has tinted her skin. Her skin is now more human colored instead of its normal pink. Instead of pink, it is now more peachy, a little more common, less standoutish in her mind. To cover the horns, she has put I'd say like not a blonde. She's got like a blonde kind of updo that she's kind of wrapped around her horns a little bit. You wouldn't know that they were wrapped around her horns unless you knew she had horns, but it looks pretty cool. You know, she was able to kind of do this very elegant updo with the blonde wig. And she carries a fan in her right hand, occasionally cooling herself off with it when the need is there.
All right. Okay. And then next to step out of the vehicle would be Elektra.
All right. I feel like she's also gone for a girlier look, which is super not her thing.
I convinced her.
Yes, for sure. So I feel like because she would never wear one as herself, and she's really trying to fool people, because they might know what her face looks like if they look too close. She's wearing a full dress.
Hide her muscles.
Yes, yeah, so like long sleeves, all full length dress, and she's got a blonde wig on.
Ooh,
there you go.
Blondies? It's yeah. What is it? What's the movie called? Blonde Chicks. We're blonde chicks. We're going undercover. We're blonde chicks, guys. Not D&D, but RPG edition.
Yeah, RPG edition. Next up, Aliana. The only thing is she has the least need for a disguise. There's probably no one here who recognizes her personally. But you were welcome to wear one anyway if you choose. What do you look like?
I could just say I like to dress up, so why not take the chance to, as my line of work doesn't allow me to do that very often.
Join us. Join us in our sisterhood.
And Eliana's, pretty confident in her look, so she's not afraid to strut her stuff. She's wearing black stilettos, and black's kind of her color, so black, sleek black dress with a high slit up to like high upper thigh, mid to upper thigh.
She's going spicy up in here. Oh my goodness! Look out, Aurelius. She's gonna woo this lady before you do.
Not acceptable.
Well, your dress slit better be higher, Aurelius, or you're out.
That's gotta be up to your hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, black. So does that. I have a little handbag thing. It's also black. I have gold accents.
A little clutch.
Yeah, gold accents and yeah, clutch is the right word. Thank you. So yeah, gold earrings, gold necklace of some sort. Gold on the handbag. Yeah, just classy and elegant looking. And hair's done up in like a classic bun, and then but I don't go unarmed anywhere, so I do have one of the classic like spy little leg holster thingies for some sort of stabby thing.
Perfect.
Like it.
All right. There is another person who doesn't have much need for disguise, and that would be also blanking on your name. I'm so sorry. Paul, what is your character's name?
Haven.
Haven.
Okay.
Hawks. Wow.
Haven.
You are really struggling today, Dan.
I know. I am.
The brain fog is real.
It's like the dad. It's like when the dad looks at their kid and goes to like every other name with everyone else they know before they get to their kid's name.
Becca,
It would seem that I am that child.
that is my dad.
Haven.
My dad. Boogie.
Haven also has no need for a disguise, really, but nonetheless, What does he look like when he steps out of the vehicle?
I commit anyway. So he kind of wears like a sailor-esque costume.
Sailor Scout.
He he wears kind of like a white shirt with a little bit of a longer coat. He, knowing that his hair and his eyes are quite recognizable, he decides to temporarily dye his hair black and ruffle it around. And not sure if contacts are a thing, but if he could, he would like to change his eyes to green instead of his.
Piper has her disguise tricks, and she helps you out with that one.
Yeah, instead of his like iridescent eyes, it's or it's his turquoise eyes. It's green instead. So.
Now, finally, Aurelius, the man who has no personal interaction with these people, but given his new status as High Lord, perhaps has the most to hide here. What are you dressed as?
He's got a cowboy hat, big old fluffy mustache.
Is he just Pedro Pascal from Kingsman?
Yep, that's where we're going.
Yeah, I freaking knew
the
it.
most countrified version of himself, well, cowboy version of himself that you can imagine.
Is the mustache attached to a glasses, which has a nose hanging off of it?
It does. It does, for sure.
Yes. I would love some artwork of Aurelius wearing the disguise glasses. Yep.
Little twitchy.
Okay. As you arrive at the gates, the guard says, "And what business do you have with the High Lady Doriam?"
It's got to be someone else. It can't be me, guys. I just picked the most ridiculous costume. Somebody's got to
Let's see. Oh,
who has the like, I can't remember what the ability is called, but the one where you're good at like wooing people, swaying people, like you know what I'm saying, Brendan? The one where you're good at talking to people.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Elise has us covered. It is a slide. I will say quickly before anything else, the guard says, "And I'd love an explanation for why this plainsman is here," referring to Aurelius, wearing the garb of someone who handles livestock on the plains.
Eliana just rolls her eyes as she deeply hates his costume.
He takes the cigar out his mouth and says, "Well, Chief, I handle half your trade. I got some business with the High Lady," and he puts it back in his mouth. Who do you think supplies you with your food, bud?
Okay.
I chime in and I say that I can confirm. In his deeper voice, I can confirm.
So flashback.
Okay.
So I did some research ahead of time on the trade, specifically to do with livestock and the meat trade for food in the city, to get information on them. And I'm actually undercover as the owner of that particular company that does trade with the Harbor District for their meats. It's a supplier from a different area because this isn't the most adequate land for livestock.
Brilliant.
And this is my sister, Elektra, who's playing my sister, who is the co-founder of the company.
Wait, are you just using a regular accent?
No. I'm describing this to DM.
Okay. We're gonna have to match accents. One of us is gonna have to change our accent.
No, I'm doing British. I gotta sound bougie. I gotta sound fancy.
Man, that means she has to do it too because we're sisters. You just introduced us as sisters.
Everybody knows it doesn't get posher than Britain.
Well, no, Alyssa, you can just speak very quietly. If you're a delicate flower, you say.
I don't know
Okay.
if this is gonna work.
Yeah,
Okay,
I accept this. This is a perfectly fine flashback.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
So the guard is waiting for his answer. And as the sea breeze swoops in, giving you a salty freshness to the air, you feel a bit of a chill. And he says, "So, the business you were looking for?"
Well, as a matter of fact, my business here is on behalf of my company, Windmill Cattle Co., which is one of your biggest trading partners. And I have some important business with your High Lady, and I doubt she would want to be kept waiting, as I've been called here for her request. Granted, some things came up and I am arriving later than expected, but she will be happy to hear what I have to say nonetheless, and I don't think you want to keep the good news waiting.
Yeah. What she said.
Also, my feet hurt me, so if you would be so kind as to let us in. I'm starting to break a sweat.
And she fans herself profusely.
Very well, very well.
And she starts to get, take my hand, darling. And she takes her hand, puts her hand out to her sister as if she's having a hard time walking. She's becoming so faint.
Elektra hesitantly puts a hand out.
Go. So this will be an action. What action would you like to use for this?
Let me pull up my thingy.
If you would like a suggestion.
Sway is my best one, so.
Sway it is. So you are going to sway him into believing that you are
Paul took my
trade
dice
partners.
for his D&D session. I'm coming for your booty, Paul. Give me back my dice.
Would Elektra be helping with this?
Yes, I think.
It just takes one stress to give the help action.
Yes. Yeah, that's fine. I cleared all my stress last time.
I think it's either one or two. I don't remember now.
I'll do one.
Go ahead, do one. I'll tell you if you need to tack the second one on later. We won't slow down the game for it.
Okay. Oh, there.
Alrighty. I have returned.
Perfect.
All right.
Would you? So you're going to. You're going to roll sway. Would you like a devil's bargain?
Oh, I was gonna ask.
I'll hear you out.
In exchange for an extra die to persuade this man of your false credentials, I would propose that the downside is that on the way here, before you had completed your disguise, members of the Grey Dev Shipping Company have spotted you and know you're in town.
Well, that won't be an issue. Because if she does happen to come across any of them in the High Lady's castle, she will simply continue to play this illness performance she's begun. She has become faint from her travels. She was not feeling well, but she knew that the High Lady needed to see her, and so she endured. She pushed on. But by the time she finds a suitable chair to lay her feet on, she is getting weary and she's having a hard time remembering things.
Oh, don't forget as well that even if you don't take the devil's bargain, Elektra is assisting you, so you already get an extra die towards this action.
Okay, so I get 3 already just with Elektra?
You get 3 already, yeah.
You accept it, or?
I'll take your bargain.
Okay. Then that's 4 die total. High chance of a crit.
Oh, baby. I got 2 6s, a 3, and a 2.
That's a crit.
Critical success. So, he says, well, no need to spread any bad news here. I'm happy to help. Let me get you inside directly. And he takes you right into her meeting room and goes to find her. After a short while, the High Lady, Lilf Doriam, walks into the room, and she sits down at her desk and says, welcome. Oh, my goodness, I did not expect there to be so many of you. She puts on a pair of glasses. She appears to be a younger woman, maybe in her mid-30s.
She's built
And,
enough.
yeah,
do.
does she pass the,
She has glasses, so yes.
She says, well, I apologize that we did forget about this meeting today. What is it that brings you here to Freight Town?
Oh, my darling, you would not believe the things I have heard and what I've been through to get here. Do you have a seat perhaps I could rest on?
Yes, please. And she snaps her fingers to have more comfortable chairs brought in.
Oh, you're too kind, my dear. Oh, will do wonders for my feet.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Now, the issue at hand here, I would be happy to help you out. With whatever business needs to be addressed here, in terms of House Doriam's exquisite Emporium, Imports and Exports LLC. I'm just afraid I don't have any record of what we're supposed to be meeting about over today. What is it that I can help you all with?
Well, you were exporting some of my fine grade A prime select beef, but now I'm told you can't, and I'm just here to understand that situation. Sorry to speak out of turn.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that my business specializes mostly in trade of unique items, things that are odd here and that are more unique outside in other lands as well. I'm afraid that, of course, the king's untimely death has hurt my business greatly. The thing is that beef is found in other lands, and it's not really one of my prime exports. I'm afraid that would be why your business was rejected. I'm very sorry. I don't deal in local trade.
Ma'am, I understand. I understand that you think this is just regular beef, but this is something else, and it most certainly does deserve to be on your ships.
This is quite true, I do have to say. You see, this beef that we're talking about, quite rare, so exquisite.
In fact,
it simply just melts in your mouth.
In fact, now I can remember a little bit now that I've had a place to sit. I've heard from this gentleman here that he has had the most amazing thing, access to, wait for it, the strawberry cows of Celestine.
And not only that, but you remember that demon scourge that happened some years back? Hell, I even got demon cows.
Mm. Oh
Yes,
my,
that's-
well, good.
Demon beef, woman.
Okay. I am in love with this scene right now. Okay.
Demons. The demons.
She takes off her glasses and she puts up her long hair in a tight bun with a couple of hairpins, and she says, "Well, that does sound to be exquisite, which is something that I deal in. So, do you have samples ready for me?" And she's prepping to have plates brought in if you have.
Flashback. I've got
Wait.
samples of demon jerky hidden in my pants.
Oh no!
In your pants?
My pants.
Wait, no! I had it.
Heated by his butt from their travels.
Okay. Let's hear the other flashback option.
Not a flashback.
Before.
But more of this is how I was going to tie into the black market thing with the sticks. Like, I was going to say something along the lines of, oh, well, that's the problem. We told you the good news, but the bad news is your samples were came up with some issues due to the issues with the black market. I'm sure you've heard. You know, and then kind of...
Yeah, go with that. Way better.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to start that scene over. Unfortunately, that is the bad news. And she starts to get faint again.
Elektra kind of murmurs and goes and pats her on the arm.
1, 2. So, unfortunately, your samples are on a ship, and they were supposed to be here on time for you to try the most delectable meat I have ever had the pleasure of trying in all of my years. But unfortunately, and I'm sure you've heard, because at this point, who hasn't? Deal. Oh, sister, please hold my hand.
Elektra takes her hand hesitantly.
For reassurance and comfort as she delivers this horrible message. Black market, their leader has been killed, and obviously, you know, the sticks and all that rubbish. And now my ship has been stopped in port because all heck is broke loose, and I am beside myself. But I assure you, my dear, samples will make their way, just not on schedule. Oh, she kind of a little bit.
Well, this sounds like something that we could deal in for certain, especially since it has no bearing on the restrictions as laid down by the law after the death of the king. So this is certainly something that could be worked with. It is unfortunate that we'll have to delay this meeting for another time. But yeah, I believe that this is something that we could work with.
My dear, before you go further, I have to ask you something. What is your opinion on everything that's happened with the sticks? I know they are up and coming, and I know it.
And they're threatening my beef.
Your beef will be fine, good sir. I need to hear from the lady what she thinks of the whole debacle.
I am sorry about your cattle, good sir, but I'm afraid that the issue at hand is far more pressing in terms of the black market. I would say that Aurelius has done a good thing in cleaning up that treacherous lot. Illegal trade, I mean, it's simply barbaric. We have laws.
Of course. I mean, imagine how much it's affected us all.
We're doing it the right way, doing the paperwork, of course. But what of the sticks? What of the sticks? What are your thoughts on the sticks? They are new after all, and after years of being obsolete. What are your thoughts on Aurelius? And obviously, you approve of this newest decision. What are your thoughts of the sticks in general and their rise back to relevance?
I must say I don't care much for the indulgence of pirates. They raid my boats and call it attacks, and I understand that Aurelius has made a deal with them to legalize this taxation, as they say. Well, I'm not a fan of that. I can't say that there's anything wrong with anything else he's done.
That is a fair point. I can see its merit.
I do find some small concern in taking over the black market, assuming he is not cavorting with them in some way. I'm afraid he's gathered all his forces on the flanks of my district. Now, I mainly deal in trade, but it would be terribly tragic for trade if districts were to go to war.
Oh.
I hope he intends nothing in particular.
Oh.
Yes,
That
I hope so as well.
I must agree with you, sir.
I noticed on my way here that there were a few boats, it seemed.
Well, whatever the boats are and whatever the gatherings are, I hope it is no ill will. Hopefully, there will be news of what all these gatherings are for, and things will be resolved. You know, in a dignified and lacking a violent manner.
He's a dirty little scallywag and a pirate lover. I hope he gets what. I hope he gets what's coming to him.
Elektra does a little and nods along.
Like, oh, sister, don't fret, sister.
Is there any more information that you were hoping to get here that you didn't already get with this question?
I would like to ask something.
Okay.
My lady,
Okay.
if you do not mind me speaking, I'm wondering.
Oh, I don't mind at all. And she puts her glasses back on and looks at you. She lets her hair down now that she's not waiting for plates of beef to come her way. And she says, "And who is it that you was?"
My name is Luca. I am pleased to meet you. I am part of a small. Sorry, my lady.
Thank you. He is part of my entourage. I have had quite the illnesses that have overcome me, and he is one of my servants, a dear one. But if it is okay, let him ask his question. Oh, sister.
Of course.
As we do more trade within your district, I wonder, what do you intend to do with the sticks, if you do not mind me asking? Is there another place that you would like me to park my boat in the occasion that something violent happens? What would you like me to do in regards of that? Anything that you plan on doing that I should steer clear of?
Oh, I'm sure she'll have it all under control, my dear.
Oh my, that it certainly is quite the question. I can't say, well, anything
Well, because nothing
in
has
regards
happened
to
yet.
that.
Nothing has happened. Thankfully, hopefully all will be well. And I'm sure either way, the lady will be able to handle herself as she always has.
What do you mean nothing will happen? I heard that filthy Lord Talvis. I heard he's been committing crimes on the down low, and now he's making the regular folk pay for it.
Ah, yes, well, what's new there?
All right, well,
Talvis has long been quite the scoundrel. I can't say that I care much for him.
Yes, I haven't
agree.
heard many good things about him.
He is the
Of course,
sandpaper
if
between
you
my teeth.
tell... Of course, if you were to tell anyone this, to where it would get back to Lord Talvis, I would have to cut your tongues out, and I would hate to do that. That's it for this episode. I am Brendan, the DM, and host for Toss the Dice here on Expedition Anything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other shows on the channel. Consider joining our Patreon for various perks, or if you're just feeling generous. A big thanks to my players, Alyssa, Aaron, Rachel, Paul, and Elise. And lastly, thanks to you, the listener, for sticking around until the end of the video. See ya on the next expedition.